Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to Ethernal Realms. We will see what your March looks like. First, I will talk a little bit about the astrology because we have a lot going on, and then we get into your cards. So the first thing taking place, noteworthy, which is on the 2nd of March, that is Mercury, the planet of the mind. There's just so many M words. But Mercury, the planet of the mind and intelligence, communication, technology, is going to be moving into Pisces, and here it can be a little bit absent-minded. Some messages you send might not reach the right person, or there is a misunderstanding or something of that sort. It's not really like a retrograde. It's just that you might forget to let someone know something, but you know what to say. So yeah, but it can be used in a nice way if you're using it in a creative sense or a spiritual way, or you're taking a vacation, at least a mental vacation. If you're unleashing your imagination and just daydreaming, this is a very nice time for all that, kind of catching up on your deeper needs, your spiritual needs and your emotional needs as well. Then soon after, it is going to move by really fast, okay? So we only have like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks mainly, to kind of get in with the rest a little bit, because on the 19th, Mercury will move into Aries, and here it's way fast forward. It takes action really quickly. It is a little bit impulsive as well. So we should use the first half of the month to kind of make the best, kind of collect our thoughts and desires, so that we can use Mercury in Aries in a very productive light. But basically on the 19th, when this happens, we are able to take action on things that we were previously hesitant or afraid about. And for you, if we go by the rising sign, then this is falling in your 7th house. So there can be new communication you have with a partner that already exists, or you might connect more deeply with your one-on-one friendships. There can also be future developments in a romantic relationship as well. There can be some conversation you have around this time, which can now Aries is a little bit of it's a fiery zodiac, so I'm getting that there might be a little bit of an argument or disagreement, something of that sort, but we'll see the details in the tarot. I'm just speculating, but if that happens, there is something to get out of it, as in, there is a new beginning that is wanting to happen, and because there is a certain resistance or something has not been worked through already, a disagreement or a discord happens to shake us out of our previous way of being into something that is in alignment with the future we're trying to create, basically. Okay, so don't take it in a negative light. I don't think it's a whole disaster or anything. It's just wanting to usher in a new phase. Then on the 7th, important to note, we have a full moon taking place in the sign of Virgo. And this one is about completion, fulfillment. It again brings in a Piscean vibe still in the first half, because full moons are about sun and the moon opposite each other. So this is a nice time to kind of fine-tune your schedule, how much you're able to rest and relax and recuperate your energy, and how much you are taking care of your physical body and presence, how much you put the work and effort, how efficient you are, and so on. So maybe your lifestyle is getting fixed so that you have more time for health and also relaxation. Okay, and of course, the more we work with what the energy is, the better it is incorporated into our lives. But regardless, it will still feel a default, vibe of this full moon. The same day, we have Saturn moving into Pisces, which is a big deal. It is going to be here for 3 years, and it was in Aquarius for the previous 3 years, where we talked a lot about restrictions of freedoms and what humanity means to one another, and what our roles and responsibilities are on a global scale, how we can express our originality, or we're fighting to express our original voice, and so on, right? There was a lot that went on, a lot of technological changes as well, space exploration topics too, things like that. But now Saturn is moving into Pisces, which is going to be about spirituality, oneness, love, gentleness, compassion. Also, it is about creating structures where there is something vague, right? Like, yeah, sure, rest is important. Yes, okay, but I gotta get this done. Or, saying that, sure, yes, creativity is a great thing, self-expression is nice, but I don't have the time right now. So when Saturn comes in here, we're going to drill down on those things, like things we have just been ignoring or has been in the back of our minds comes to the forefront, so we can structure that and kind of utilize it for our overall benefit. Okay. Now in the third week, we have a lot of aspects going on, and I will not get into all of them. It'll be way too long. But if you're curious, I will be posting whatever happens in my community page, so you can subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be notified when the post is up. It'll explain what is happening, who is being affected zodiacally, and how much is each zodiac being impacted. So, but I will mention that on the 16th, we have Venus moving into Taurus, and here she's very happy. She is ruling Taurus, so beauty, aesthetics, harmony, financial freedom, abundance, all of these topics are really at an all-time high. There can be some protection and luck and benevolence, some gifts that might come our way, which are very beneficial to our sense of self-security as well. In a romantic context, there is a chance of stabilizing relationships or figuring out what exactly needs to be done in order to stabilize a relationship. So more clarity, protection, and blessings coming through with this aspect, with this movement. Then on the 20th or the 21st, depending on where you live, we have the sun moving into Aries, and that's the beginning of a new zodiac season. And when it is joining up with the new moon, it's such a nice time to have a brand new start to something. And this can be a year-long project, perhaps Aries season 2, the next Aries season, you plant an intention around a halfway point, 6 months down the line. You know, you can pivot if you want, or you kind of continue on the same path. So it's really nice time for manifestations in general if you work with that. Even if not, it still talks about a new breath of fresh air, spring seasons coming through in the northern hemispheres. Basically talks about the transition phase, right? It's kind of that vibe going on, whichever hemisphere you live in. But this new beginning kind of helps move along the ideas that we were having in the first half into something more real. We're focusing more. We have a lot of courage and bravado that comes in with this. And like I said, for you, this would be in the 7th house. There is a new beginning in your relationship that is trying to happen. So yeah, there's no point in fighting it. And I think it's going to be actually boosting your relationship life anyway. So I don't think you'll want to fight it at all. Also, on the 23rd, another huge deal, we have Pluto going into Aquarius, and it's going to be here for 20 years, starting 2024. But in this year, we have it dipping in a little bit into Aquarius, kind of give us a little bit of a trailer of what next year till 20 years from then is going to look like. So it's important to observe, kind of take note of what our responses are, because we will be working on those things. Subconscious patterns, transformations, purging, things that have been just underneath the surface for far too long or have been restricted and stagnant for far too long is going to be shaken loose in this area of your life. Okay, so Pisces and Aries, Pisces, so that would be in your 5th house, right? And there can be changes in creativity. Perhaps, you've been feeling restricted in doing what you really enjoy. And this is the time when you're like, I will not take any more of this restriction. I want to make a change. I want to do what I want. You know, that's coming through. There's a lot of empowerment that comes through where it's like enough is enough. Pluto kind of operates from that stage where like while Saturn was here, it just was like, okay, we're going to do it according to these rules. We cannot have this. There is restriction here and it's not allowed here. We must have structured fun, you know. But with Pluto here, it's like, let's shake everything up. What if everything we know just doesn't work anymore? Then what happens? We got to shift things. So yes, on the 23rd we have that, but we will feel it throughout the week. Now on the 25th, Mars is moving into Cancer, fire planet and a water zodiac, so it does not really mix very well. It can show up in a passive-aggressive way. It can be unusually shy or unclear in expression of like, what do you want from your family or your emotional needs. There can be some kind of confusion, and this is a way for the planet to kind of find its emotional bearing. Mars generally is not associated with emotions at all, but you know, as people, we have that emotional component to us, right? So if we've been ignoring a part of ourselves, then this would be the time that we pay extra attention. So for anything that we're trying to kind of learn and understand about ourselves, it takes a little bit of a time to kind of see where to look or how to work with what we have already, right? So it's sort of that feeling I'm getting, but I don't think that's going to be all of Mars in Cancer. It's just in the month of March, we might feel that version of it. In a more positive sense, it is very protective and it preserves what it has built so far. So things that you love doing, things that you connect with heart to heart, your close family members, your home life, the people that you nurture, projects you nurture, things like that, you can be extra preservative about that. Like, no matter what, I will build, solid foundations and walls that, not walls, but like in sufficient structures, and take some steps to ensure that the things I care about are protected, basically, right? So that's also nice. Now, in the last week, also, we have a couple of aspects going on with planets, but I'm not going to get into it. So if you're interested, it will be there in the community page. All right, let's get into your cards. Your major theme of the month is the moonrise with relax. Yes, definitely you're prioritizing that rest and relaxation, engaging with your intuition, meditating more, going out into nature, spending some time by yourself, understanding your priorities, things like that. Your first major highlight, we have chair empty, which says someone is leaving your life. Then we have second major highlight, an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you with nest. And we have the third major highlight with a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Okay, so chair empty. This is giving me two messages. One is that if you are with someone that is not resonating with you and you're just trying to make it work, and how you can identify that is by seeing how much you contribute to this relationship versus how much the other person does. So if there is a sort of imbalance here, this month is where things are going to get fixed, basically. Definitely. And same goes for if you're already in a relationship, but there are some problems that you're leaving under the rug and is not yet dealt with. This can indicate that you're solving that, and like I said, around 19th, 20th, there can be some disagreement or resolution that happens as a result of the disagreement, and a version of you leaves behind. For example, you might agree to tell each other the problem the moment it arises, instead of waiting till it is tipping you guys over to an extreme, right? So that can be a promise you make to each other and you keep to it, and that kind of changes the way that you deal with problems in general, not just excluded to relationships, right? So a version of you might be leaving. Also, because we have so many planetary changes, the way that we see the outside world, our perspectives in general, can be going through a lot of shifts. So the person you are now might not be the person you will be by the end of March. In the sense, your outlook is different, so the people you connect with is different. It might be that you have completely different preferences in terms of relationships. You don't want to attract what you have been attracting before, and now you have a clearer idea of what exactly you want to be attracting now, based on what stage of life you're in. Now, the nest indicates, that family, home, things that you care about, you're really protecting those things. You're ensuring that you have enough time to yourself, if that's what you need, that you have enough rest, because you can't keep pushing, right? You need to take a bit of a break. Now, with the money path, it's really good for a material success, but even apart from that, it talks about greater abundance trying to find its way to you, and you wanting to move towards it as well. So you could be looking for a different job which offers you greater money, or it could be extra, sources of income you're working on. It can also be that you're looking for different countries, or like you have more of a step-by-step approach on how you can increase your financial security for the future, like investments, for example. Apart from that, yes, like I said, abundance in general is waiting for you to find it. So there are some opportunities somewhere, some blessings can come in, the right connections, and networking. Perhaps a close friend of yours introduces you to someone who later becomes your partner, things like that. So if that's something very valuable to you, then that could be what the money path is talking about. All right, then your tarot cards. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Let's just see what else we have. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and we have the Knight of Swords. 2 of Pentacles. Look at all these pentacles, goodness. Oh, by the way, Venus rules you guys as well, not just Taurus. So when Venus in general is happy in the skies, she's going to be blessing all that she rules. So you have an extra boost of luck, basically. We have the Five of Pentacles, and we also have the Star. Okay, so you got 6 cards. I thought I had 5, but hey. Okay, so definitely paying some attention to your lifestyle, your schedule. Yeah, so that there can be some exercise regimen you fit in, or you shift your diet in some way, and you feel like you can do a lot of things in very little time. Somehow you're making more efficient use out of what you already have. 8 of Pentacles is also reminding me of the money path, honestly, that you're getting to work on harnessing the blessings, basically. Okay, so it's not like everything is flooding in without any reason. Of course, there is an opportunity, but then it is really up to us to take advantage of those things and, follow through with the things that we get from the external world to make it more long-lasting, right? So yes, and if you're into creativity in some way, any type of creative, route, the 8 of Pentacles says that you're putting in a lot of your time and effort. Not only that, you're putting in your unique signature as well. So it's very much you, and that's why you're determined to do a really good job at this. If you already have work and it's not something related to creativity, this can indicate that you have a very stable routine. And you go, let's say 9 to 5, and then you come back and you put in the exercise routines, talking to your friends, or whatever it is that you do. Okay, so pretty stable in that way. But 2 of Pentacles indicates, and also Knight of Swords, both together can talk about bit of a busy air, that you can't really be too flexible with your routines. If you're more used to being flexible, this might not be a very fun time, because it's honestly teaching you more discipline, and there is a need for discipline in this particular month. And also there might be, again, new things that you learn about with the Ace here, or new opportunities that come in that you have to spend a little bit of extra time. Like if you're looking for a new job but you already have one, then you have to continue to deliver what you deliver, but you're also making applications on the side. So it can't be like random breaks where we scroll through the phone or something else. Now, with the 5 of Pentacles, this can be talking about someone leaving your life. Can be a literal person, but doesn't have to be. It is like leaving behind a place which does not offer you enough financial resource for the amount that you put in, that kind of vibe coming through. So you have better opportunities elsewhere. You're upset that the first thing did not work out, but you're going to move on. You're going to try for something a little bit better because you want to upgrade your lifestyle, and you're moving on to the next phase of life, basically. So we can't stay too stagnant to what already has been. Also, 5 of Pentacles can indicate that there is, financial rescue or resources that come in, especially when you need it. So if you are kind of struggling to make ends meet, or you're like insecure about making ends meet, either you can take initiatives to make this not the case, or it can also be that someone else comes in to help you out financially. But there is a need for you making an initiative, because otherwise why would someone know that you have some financial issues going on? I was getting something else. Yeah, there is this vibe that you're spending some time by yourself, kind of reprioritizing in some way. This is talking about the loss of an old self, right? The someone is leaving your life could be you, your old version, and you want to walk away from things that have kept you in a lack mindset, kind of feeling poor or insecure, something of that sort, into something that's like a lot more secure in yourself, and kind of being okay with waiting for the right people to come into your life, rather than spending a lot of time and wasting a lot of time and effort on the wrong people, the wrong friends, or the wrong opportunities, basically. I think there's a strong desire for you to hit the bullseye this time. With the star here, it indicates that you have sign symbols that could be showing up through this month. Also talks about some manifestations coming through, some spiritual guidance could come in as well, which gives you some clarity. The star also says everything will work out in your favor. It's a very blessed card in general. And so kind of pay attention to your thoughts, because you're likely to manifest those things over time. Yeah. Hopes and wishes and ideals, aspirations. You might be looking to your future plans and kind of adjusting your path accordingly. So, we might have very grand plans for the future, but if we don't do anything right now, then it's less likely to come into reality, right? It just keeps getting pushed away to the future, to the future, to the future. So the star with the Knight of Swords is giving me a good feeling that you're taking some action towards making this a positive reality, basically. Okay, then we have find your sacred flow. And we have ambush fear with your ferocious dream. I really love it. I love that there is force but also flow. Okay, so that's such a wonderful combination, and I would imagine Libra is able to achieve this. Okay, where you're completely in balance, but you can also take action when it really counts. So yes. Very nice. You can form some good connections, which leads to some financial blessings, so more feeling networking that works out well. The star talks about networking too, connecting with people from far off places, so it could be that you're looking for jobs in different countries or long distance work, work from home, remote work, something of that sort could be a possibility for you. But whatever it is that you want, you really, really want, is very much possible with you taking some initiative. And it's as though like all you need to do is begin, and there's a lot of things that will meet you halfway. Okay, but we gotta begin, right? So find your sacred flow is talking about that rhythm, the lifestyle, the routine, the way you think, and so on, not being in conflict with the things that you think or say. There's more of a streamlined approach that's taking place here. Also relates with the home and family. You could be talking to people there, or you might be planning for a visit. Yeah. The someone is leaving your life could be a family member as well, someone who's very wise. It would be someone who's a little bit on the older side. But again, that doesn't have to be for everyone. You would kind of see some signs of that developing. Okay, so let's see these cards here. We have Cosmos coming up, so we have so many stars going on here for you. So many stars. Yeah. Fabulous time to manifest, okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be shy to manifest your wildest dreams in this month. It's so nice to see this opportunity. Also, again, it talks about star support, star guidance, some signs and synchronicities you see throughout the month, some repeating numbers, for example. There's just this air of randomly things working out, being in the right place at the right time with the right people, chance encounters, chance opportunities. There's things you've not thought about or been entertained before, you're now thinking about, you're considering. It's like, I never saw it this way. That kind of vibe coming through. Or there can be an epiphany, an awakening that takes you out of a difficult situation, shows you a new opportunity, and gives you the motivation to get to work on those things, basically. So yes, you have a wonderful backup system throughout this month. So anything you want to manifest for yourself, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Then we have Stratopause, which indicates a transitionary stage. Yes, this talks about movement forward, okay? That we're in between stages, but it's not that it can feel, if we look at it more pessimistically, it can be like, okay, I'm not a child and I'm not an adult, and so I'm a teenager, that type of feel. Like, I don't really know what category I belong in, and like, what does that mean? Who am I and how should I behave? That kind of thing, right? So that in the case of more material lifestyle, I guess. So like you're trying to get rid of a previous habit, but you have not yet fully understood or committed to a new habit. So you're like, am I going to slink back, or am I going to continue forward? Is this for good, or what is happening here, right? So there is a sense of vagueness, but the beautiful thing about vague is that you get to make anything out of it. Okay, it's not so rigid, which means it's up to you, right? That's where the initiative taking and the boldness, the ambush fear with your ferocious dream comes in. If the new habit is something you want, you need, you desire in your life, then so be it. You can absolutely make it happen. There's nothing that will stop you. And same goes for, financial things. If you want a new job, then you want a new job. That's it. Just start looking, and it is likely to happen. Or make considerable headway, or make some important connections, something positive that helps you shake things up. I'm also getting the feel that for some of you, it might get a little bit too rigid, the lifestyle, and you Libra are a little bit about, okay, but let's switch it up. Let's be in balance. We can't keep doing the same thing all the time. So the Two of Pentacles in that way is a helpful respite, I would say, where you prioritize flexibility. So you might kind of tell that I will not be attending at this time, but I will do the work, I will deliver it whenever the deadline is, but perhaps you would prefer to work at night if you're wanting to sleep in a little bit till later in the morning, for example. So you switch things up and make things a little bit more flexible to suit your needs. But you still have a routine, or you still have commitments that you're delivering on. Okay, so you're not skimping out on things. That way you're not damaging the outside experience, but you're finding more freedom and happiness as the month progresses in your inner world as well. Okay, so let's see your astro dice now. Libras, please, in the month of March. With the stars, by the way, you might spend a lot of time meditating or introspecting on your future plans. We have Pluto, 10th house, and Cancer, which talks about big changes in your career, your professional sphere, or how you show up in the world. Some of you might decide to leave your jobs entirely and just, stay at home for a while, or take a break for a bit. Perhaps you feel a little bit burnt out and you just don't want to keep on the go all the time. You want to spend some time by yourself, so you might take some time off, go to your family place, go spend some time at home with your loved ones, and think about what you want to be doing later on. When we have Pluto, it's a big planet, as in it's a faraway planet with a big impact. So it kind of it brings up the deeper questions, like, what am I even doing? What am I trying to create here? What am I trying to make happen? Is this something that is meaningful to me? Does it bring me fulfillment? Would I be protective about this? Do I even care about this? These are the really big questions that we hope that we don't have to answer when we are kind of off key, right? So, but either way, it is trying to bring in better alignment, and there are new doors that open when Pluto asks these questions, right? We first have to acknowledge that where we are is not the best place to be, and then we can look for opportunities which come in from the outside world. When we have 10th house, it's the outside that's helping you. You can get guidance from the outside. It can be a parental figure that gives you some important guidance to help you out in your next steps. You can get some tips from an authority figure, for example, or you might learn a completely new skill that is very inspiring and you absolutely adore, and you want to do something about that. So you're taking on a new course, for example. Now, Pluto brings about changes, so it can be a change in designation as well. So maybe you transition from a junior position to a, senior position, or an assistant position, something of that sort. And it can also be like you change your status, your public status, from being, an employee to being a student, or vice versa, something of that sort, where the status itself is changing. What you identify as in the world is changing, but in a way that it resonates more with the new person you want to become. And every change that is happening here is shifting you more to the things that you want to have. Okay, not that you have to have. Okay. And the changes you experience in the career world is directly impacting your home life, or the place that you stay in, or kind of providing for a family, the ability to have a family or support one, something of that sort. Or exactly the opposite, that perhaps you move out of an expensive house, you come into a cheaper place, or you share your space, or you have more support in a family and home sense, so you have more freedom to change your career, your professional sphere itself. Okay, some of you might have more desires related to home, and that's why you want to change the career so you can support the home situation, or the things that you basically emotionally connect with. Yes. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Libras. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.